Welcome to People, Power, and Politics. Hard talk, riveting interviews, community updates, in-depth analysis. That's People, Power, and Politics. We tell it to you as it is. No holds barred. You are the people, you have the power. We bring you the politics. To listen to our show, be a guest, or to advertise, visit www.pppradio.nyc. That's www.pppradio.nyc.
Good day and a warm welcome to everyone. Today in the studio with us, we have a couple of special guests. Ninaj Raoul, co-founder and director of Haitian Women for Haitian Refugees. Irene Linares, senior research and policy coordinator at Take Roots Justice. And Kadijah Almarales, staff attorney at Take Root Justice. Welcome, ladies. Lovely to have you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi. Happy to be here.
So can you introduce yourselves and tell me what your roles are in each respective organization?
Hi, my name is Irene Linares, and I'm the Senior Research and Policy Coordinator at Take Root Justice. We provide legal, participatory research and policy support to strengthen the work of grassroots and community-based groups in New York City to dismantle racial, economic, and social oppression. And the research and policy team, we do that by providing strategic research to grassroots groups to build the power of their organizing and advocacy work.
Hi, my name is Ninaj Raoul. I'm co-founder and executive director of Haitian Women for Haitian Refugees. Our organization was founded in 1992 to respond to the refugee crisis that was faced by Haitian immigrants in the U.S. and at the time coming through Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. Since then, we've helped thousands of families who sought asylum in the U.S. after being persecuted in Haiti. And we engage directly impacted refugees into organizing campaign so that they can self-advocate and change. Currently, Haitian Women for Haitian Refugees provides culturally competent programs that include immigration-related screenings, referrals, education, supportive services, and healing-centered community organizing. Through education, community organizing, leadership development, and collective action, Haitian Women for Haitian Refugees members empower themselves as they struggle for social, economic, and racial justice.
Hi, my name is Kadijah Almarales, and I'm a staff attorney on the immigrants' rights team at Take Root Justice. I would say that our partnership model is based on centering the unique needs of our partner organizations. We take our partner organizations' lead in terms of the work they would like us to assist in. In the context of immigration advocacy, this looks like providing legal representation to members of our partner organizations in their individual immigration cases, providing tailored Know Your Rights presentations to community members, and in this case, providing participatory research to address and advocate around a problem that members are facing within our partner organizations.
So can you explain for those who don't understand what humanitarian parole is?
Humanitarian parole is a temporary form of immigration relief that allows individuals with urgent humanitarian reasons or significant public benefit to be able to enter and remain in the United States for a temporary period of time based on the parole term that they are afforded. A huge benefit of humanitarian parole is that it allows individuals to be able to apply for a work permit, and they can then use that work permit based on their parole term.
Can you explain to us the research method utilized in Humanitarian Parole Crisis, how racist policies and practices deny Haitian refugees work authorization?
Yes, at Take Root's Research and Policy Initiative, we utilize a participatory action research method in which low-income and excluded communities are central to the design and the development of the research and the policy. And it's a kind of methodology that really debunks the idea that there's an outside research expert who comes into your community and extracts data. Instead, we center the design and the development of the research on the experience and the expertise of those living through the issue.
So can you provide an overview of the key findings from the report Humanitarian Parole Crisis, how racist policies and practices deny Haitian refugee work authorization?
Yeah, definitely. I can start with that. This is Irene. I think that one of the most significant findings that we saw in the course of the research and analyzing the data was really how dehumanizing the immigration system is towards Black immigrants. And we tend to know that sort of anecdotally, but it was really striking to see it in the words of the impacted people. And I think another really significant finding was how essentially meaningless it is to provide such short grants of humanitarian parole to Haitian refugees and migrants and asylum seekers, knowing that no kind of stability can be achieved in the grants that they were getting, which were like 2 weeks, a few months, and even a year. And also the incredible vulnerable position that it puts refugees and asylum seekers in, unable to forge a pathway to legal and sustainable employment. So those are just some of the findings.
How have humanitarian parole periods for Haitian asylum workers or asylum seekers changed during the Trump and Biden administrations, and what impact has this had on their ability to access legal employment?
So I'm happy to answer that. So during before the Trump administration, we were seeing parole terms for as long as 3 years. And the effect of those longer parole terms is that Haitian migrants had time to settle into the country, to be able to be connected with legal representatives who could help them navigate their cases and also file their work permit applications. These long processing times gave them the ability to access the full benefit of work permits. However, during the Trump administration, we started seeing humanitarian parole terms shortened drastically. There were short terms for from 2 weeks, ranging from 2 weeks to a few months. And now we've seen a shift from that with the Biden administration. Parole terms are now about a year long, maybe up to 2 years, but these terms aren't consistent. However, even with the year parole, it's still not giving Haitian migrants sufficient time to be able to apply for work authorization and actually receive the benefit of that. So what has happened, what has really affected migrants' ability to be able to get these work authorizations is that the processing times are too long. So if they have a parole term for up to a year, the processing times for work permits are taking up to 9 months. So that's, most of their parole term. And once their parole term expires, they're not able to work.
So the report highlights disparities between the treatment of Haitian refugees and Ukrainian refugees in terms of parole periods and work authorization processing times. What implications does this have on equitable treatment in the immigration system?
Yeah, I can take that a little bit. I think, so the project itself is really the outcome of addressing the U.S.'s racist immigration policies. And I would say that the research really highlights the main implication for equitable treatment in the immigration system, which is that equitable treatment doesn't really exist for Black and brown immigrants. So I think that that's one of the things that really rooted the research project. And we, using a social justice lens, our understanding is that the immigration system is another form of policing for Black and brown communities. So I think we just are noting that the equitable treatment really doesn't exist.
Yeah, I'll just add on to that. And that the fact that the equitable treatment doesn't exist is not new to us at all, because there's a long legacy of racism against Haitian refugees in this country. So on the actual report, we on the back cover we have an image of a big protest that we did in 1998, and some of the signs say why the double standards. Equal treatment for Haitians we're asking for. So it's basically the same thing that we're asking for now. It's not new at all, but it just shows up in different forms over the years in different administrations.
In what ways does the report identify and document these racist practices?
So there were many interviews that were done. We interviewed groups of refugees that were directly impacted, and they shared some of the experiences that they have, and they certainly feel that the treatment that they're getting has been racist from the day that they step in, when they have to be detained. Some people were forced to wear ankle bracelets, electronic ankle monitors. Some people spent time in detention. They felt very criminalized. And even when they were released, they had to wear these ankle bracelets over time, especially during the pandemic when a lot of things shut down. And normally they would have been removed in a couple of months. But all these things shut down and everything was remote. Sometimes, even when they were removed, then they would, to today, they still force them to use these phone apps where they have to track them and they have to check in every day and take their photos. One of the things that we highlighted in the report, too, is that the CBP One app that they have to use also works from facial recognition, has sometimes malfunctions and has difficulties recognizing dark skin tones. So those are just some of the examples. We've also did interviews with different legal practitioners. Actually, Irene did a lot of interviews with some of the legal practitioners. And we found that the treatment of how they process the applications differently for different populations sometimes. It takes longer for some populations, certainly the Haitian population. Just a couple of days after our report was released, we learned that there was a lawsuit filed by Haitian immigrants in Indianapolis against the state of Indiana because they have humanitarian parole as well, and there's a new law in Indiana that allows people with humanitarian parole to get driver's license, and the Haitians were being denied driver's license, whereas they found that they were only applying this new law to the Ukrainian refugees.
And we also, the report includes some context and a backdrop information where we really name how anti-Black racism has informed U.S. immigration policies. And we start by naming that the Haitian Revolution, which is one of the most important events in human history, precipitated decades of backlash from colonial powers. And we also name, briefly how U.S. political and financial intervention is a deliberate destabilizing force that has been at play for decades and even centuries. And more recently, we go into some detail about how mass detention policies and detention centers were really practiced on Haitian refugees and for controlling the demographics of this country. So we start by naming anti-Haitianism as the basis for a lot of the inhumane immigration policies that are in practice now, including detention centers and deterring migration by sea. And, we really understand immigration policies that at their root, they're used to enforce white supremacy and determine the demographics of this country. And then we go into what Ninaj says, the findings, which actually show the disparate treatment that legal service advocates have seen in the course of their work with different populations.
So along with the mistreatment, the report mentions that the system of granting humanitarian parole and other immigration processes has become opaque and confusing. How does this lack of clarity impact the ability of legal professionals, advocates, and community organizations to assist human refugees effectively?
So I think the opaqueness and just unclarity of how humanitarian parole is being handled has just caused a lot of confusion among legal advocates. It's very hard to navigate the system and to advise our clients effectively on how to navigate their own cases. For example, our organization, when we did a legal clinic with Haitian Women's members, and our clients were asking when they would get their work authorizations based off of their humanitarian parole applications. And we couldn't tell them when they would be able to get their work permits. We couldn't guarantee that they would get them at all because of the long processing times. And so there's a huge risk for our clients when they even apply for a work permit based on humanitarian parole, because they have to come up with money to be able to pay the filing fees for that application. But, if they don't get the work permit, then they've, lost out on this money that they're not going to have an opportunity to earn back by being able to work.
So the report also calls for collaboration and advocacy groups to implement policy recommendations. How does Take Root Justice plan to collaborate with Haitian Women for Haitian Refugees and other Black immigrant advocacy groups, especially with regard to the Biden administration?
Sure. So this report is also meant to be a tool for our organizing efforts and an organizing campaign that we have. So there's the finding and recommendations, and now it's using them. So we plan to do advocacy and visit with legislators and educate them on the situation. We also plan to, from time to time, we have conversations with USCIS, Homeland Security in general, White House, people from the White House, from this current administration. And we bring up these issues to them, and we press for change. So one of the big goals that we have is to get a redesignation of TPS. Redesignating TPS for Haitian people is something that can be done right away if the president just says so, tomorrow even. And Homeland Security has the power to do that. And so if they redesignate TPS, that would make it so that there wouldn't be these gaps that people have experienced from having these short-term paroles or having to go through these extensive periods of trying to apply for employment authorization where they end up, their parole ends up expiring before they even get approved, so therefore they're denied based on that. So that's one of the immediate things that we're going to be pushing for. The last time that TPS was redesignated for Haitians was in November 6th of last year. And at that time, the most that people were getting was a 1-year humanitarian parole, which means as of November 7th of this year, every day that goes by, we have more undocumented Haitians that are falling out of status.
Yeah, and on the Take Root side, we'll continue to collaborate with Haitian Women for Haitian Refugees on legal clinics, and hopefully we can partner with other Black immigrant advocacy groups. And yeah, like Ninaj said, we're really calling for the Biden administration to continue to actually work with Black immigrant advocates and to hear directly from impacted people on the policies that impact their lives. And our work on the research and policy team is to partner with organizations and use research strategically to advance the campaigns of those groups. And like Ninaj said, these reports are really a tool. We don't write the reports to sort of sit on a shelf. They're designed to be used as tools to move targets, to illuminate the data, and to make policy change happen. So we want the Biden administration to not only read the report, but to heed the call to action, which Ninaj said, is he has the power to enforce deferred enforced departure and extend TPS, and also to expand humanitarian parole to 5 years.
Yeah, and I want to just lift the importance of language justice in our organizing campaign. So we also printed out these reports in Creole because we are engaging directly impacted people to self-advocate in this campaign. So at the report released last week, we held it in Haitian Creole so that the refugees can be comfortable to fully participate and express themselves, because we feel like their stories are going to be key in pushing public opinion and the legislators in doing the right thing and redesignating TPS as soon as possible.
Thank you so much. And how can people reach out, contribute, donate, support both of your organizations?
Yeah, our website is HaitianRefugees.org. We encourage people to reach out. They can access the report right away, both the full report and the executive summaries in both languages. And we encourage people to access it, read it, get to know it, and contact us so that they can collaborate with us, because we'll be working with different organizations, as Irene mentioned, Black Immigrant Rights Organization, Haitian organizations, legal service providers, all which attended, and most of all, directly impacted refugees.
Yeah, and you can find us at takerootjustice.org, and we love donations, and we do movement lawyering all across the city, and you can find us there and on Twitter.
Thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
People, power, and politics. Hard talk, riveting interviews, community updates, in-depth analysis. That's people, power, and politics. We tell it to you as it is. No holds barred. You are the people, you have the power. We bring you the politics. To listen to our show, be a guest, or to advertise, visit www.pppradio.nyc. That's www.pppradio.nyc.